Time to get this party started. All right. Turn on the timers. My nephew just sent me a text and said that there is a Netflix series coming up that's going to be about the Tour de France. So you might want to look, if you have Netflix and you use it, you might want to look for that coming your way. I don't know when it's coming out or anything more than just that, but it's kind of cool. It'll be kind of cool to see what that's all about. And before we know it, the Tour de France will be happening. So who else? I think I see Jim popping on. So I hope everybody had a wonderful new year. It was nice to actually have a day on New Year's Day that was warm enough that for the first time in probably, I can't even tell you how many years, we actually rode our bikes, our Metric Century, outside instead of on our trainers. So that was very nice. So before we get started, you have your fan, your towel, and your full water bottle. I want you in a nice, easy gear. Easiest gear you have. Just spinning the legs. Obviously, you guys have been on warming up for probably, I don't know, 5, 10, maybe just a couple of minutes. But whatever it is, warming up, just getting the body started. So our ride outside was nice. We used the house as our resting spot. We did a 20-mile course, came back to the house, took a break, had something to eat, resupplied, went back out, did another 20 miles, came back to the house, went back out, and then did 22 miles. Randy put a really nice course together. So each segment was a different length or different area. So we didn't double up on any roads. So it's definitely a course to use in the future. That's a nice way to do it. So if you consider that for yourself in the future, use your house as your rest stop instead of going somewhere. So you can just ride right outside your door. So it was a good New Year's Day. All right, so I'm going to continue this quote of the week from my Coach Inspiration book by Bobby Unser, who is a car racer, race car driver. Success is where preparation and opportunity meet. Pretty true. Coaches, people in the professional sporting world, some of them have a good sense of what's required. That's why books like that come out. That's another good one that we can apply here tonight. So as you heard me say, this is going to be an enjoyable endurance ride. So for those of you that have zones, heart rate, power, I want you to think about, when we get to the main set of today, of putting yourself in either zone 2 or zone 3, no higher than that. Really keeping yourself more into the middle of zone 3 and not tapping into that upper edge. There's a number of coaches and professionals. There have been books written about it. We talk about the 80-20 rule. That meaning that 80% of your workouts are in your zone 2-3 zone, and 20% is in the upper echelons. A lot of it works. Randy actually utilized it for training for an Ironman. And it was amazing watching his body change. And he was actually able to run faster with a lower heart rate as a result of massive training in those zones. So kind of keep that in mind for yourself if you wish to try that this year. The nice part about it is you don't have to beat yourself up. You don't have to try to go fast to be fast. You can actually go slower to be fast. So think about that, and I'll talk a little bit more about it as we go through. So let's get started. We're going to start with, I want you to do 50 seconds hard with a 10-second rest. So this is a little different when we're using it to warm up the body than doing a whole workout of hard efforts. So if you're in the top of your cassette right now, I want you to give me 3 shifts. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. If you feel like you need an extra gear, I want you to try to get that cadence up to 100 plus for 50 seconds. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So really push this. Force the legs to wake up. Get the heart rate starting to pump. Get the lungs really starting to work. And the legs, you'll start feeling a little bit of burn. That's what we want. Don't be afraid of that burn. It's actually good. You're going to get a short rest between each of these, just so we can warm up the body. 3, 2, 1. You can either shift to an easier gear or stay in the gear you're in. Whatever you wish for this 10 seconds. Get ready to go. 3, 2, let's go. Back to 100. If you can't quite hit 100, then try to get to 90 or 95. Something where you're going to feel the effort is what we're looking for. On a scale 1 to 10, you should be at an 8. 8, 9. Pushing yourself hard. Nice and steady pedal stroke. 3, 2, nice and easy. Bring it down. 10 seconds isn't very long. Back to it. Pushing it hard. Your body might start sweating a little sooner tonight with the warmer temperatures. Feel that you're pedaling evenly. Lighten up those feet. Feel the upward part of the stroke. 3, 2, nice and easy. 3 minutes down. 2 more to go. 3, 2, here we go. Back to picking it up. You've been seeing a certain number, be it cadence, power, heart rate, speed. Use those metrics to help you. That's why we have them. And your rate of perceived exertion, if you have nothing else. And everybody's RPE scale be a little different. Nice and easy. Last 50 coming up. And let's go. Hold it steady. Might start feeling these now. You're going to be well warmed up. $20 to go. 10 to go. Hold on to it all the way to the end. Stay in that gear. Bring down the intensity. 3, 2, 1. Easy gear. Take a drink. All right. Now I hope you're ready. This next effort, literally going to be 30 full minutes. But here's what I want you to do. I don't want you to do. I don't want you feeling like you did for those 50-second efforts. That's too hard. If you were getting up into zone 4, then that's too hard. So allow yourself to be in a comfortable state, but you're going to stick with the cadences suggested and the gearing if you like it. Now remember, if you can't hold the cadence, shift to an easier gear. Don't be afraid to use an easier gear to get you where you need to go for this. So this is like a ladder up and a ladder down. It's going to be a 1-minute effort, then a 2-minute, then a 3, 4, 5, then down 4, 3, 2, 1. But you're only going to get 30 seconds rest in between each one of these time frames. So that means you're not going to have any chance to really recover, but you're going to stay right into that range. All right, so the first one, I'd like you to be in your big ring and in your 23. So that means big ring and just one cog down from your easiest cog in the back. Now, if the big ring is too much, then go ahead and shift to the small ring and do the same effort. So we want to do 1 minute at 90 to 100. 3, 2, 1. Pick a cadence that's going to work for you. If you decide on 100, you're going to try to stick to that as we go down, up and down this ladder. If 90 works, then stay with that. Or if you want to get creative, start at 90 and go to 100 as we move through, or do the reverse. Do 100 now and do 90 for that 5-minute effort. So settle in, figure out if the gear works, figure out what cadence is working for you right now. So this first minute is really all about experimentation, figuring out where your zone 2, 3 is. 3, 2, you're going to do 30 seconds. Bring your cadence down. You can get to 80 if you want. The next one's going to be 2 minutes in the same gear, big ring 23, at the same cadence range, 90 to 100. So I want you to really settle in as we go. All right, find your gear. 3, 2, 1. Get right to where you want to be. This is the beauty of having power. I can literally dial it right into where I want to be. And using power on a trainer is so effective. It's a little harder when you're outside because it starts to jump around based on the terrain. If you feel yourself breathing very heavy right now, that means you're going too hard. You should be able to talk like I'm talking. That's why it got a little easier for me as we move to this portion of the workout. So I decided today I was going to Google lists of New Year's resolutions. So Good Housekeeping put out a list of, I don't know, 50 New Year's resolutions. So what I did is I took their list, and I'm going to tell you a few of theirs, but then I'm going to kind of apply that or match that with what we think as cyclists should be our New Year's resolution. So the first one for them is build a better budget. Well, you might already know what I'm going to say. Create a bike budget. Figure out how much you want to spend this year on bike stuff. It's so fun to spend money on bike stuff. 3, 2, 1. Nice and easy. Bring down the intensity. 30 seconds off. We're going to move into 3 minutes. So for the 3-minute effort, come down into your small ring and get around your maybe 19, 18, 17, about 4 or 5 gears down from your largest cog in the back. 3, 2, 1. Again, you're holding that cadence at 90 to 100, right in that zone where you're going to start sweating. So this is going to be a 3-minute effort. Since this is a huge block with very short rest in between, take a drink along the way. I'll remind you, just use it as time when you feel you need it. Because this is what happens out on the road. Nobody's there to tell you, drink, except if you're using a Garmin, a Wahoo, any kind of device, it will give you alerts if you put it in. So you can program into your computer, alert me every 15 minutes to drink, every 30 minutes to drink. Because as you know, that's super important. All right, so Good Housekeeping says, practice mindfulness. Well, my take on that is plan a bike event, trip, or even a group ride with your friends. We get a lot of mindfulness when we ride together. So if you know a bunch of people, set up a courses that you do every night after work or on the weekends, and get together, go for a ride, or plan to do the Revolutionary Ramble, the Ramapo Rally, do a week-long bike tour, whatever it might be. It's going to make it fun and give you something to look forward to. So keep that in mind. I know we already have our Italy trip. I'm sure we're going to do some other events And of course, riding friends is definitely always on the list. 15 more seconds here. Almost into 3 minutes. Then you're going to get 30 again. If you're starting to sweat right now, then you're doing it right. 3, 2, 1. Nice and easy. Allow yourself to take a drink. Next one's going to be 4 minutes. You can go back to that same gear. Or if you feel like you need an easier or harder gear, make that shift. Take a drink. We want to finish that bottle by the end. All right, here we go. 4 minutes. 3, 2, same deal. 90 to 100, whatever metric you've been using, go right to it. You know my famous word, be consistent tonight. This is when you really need to be consistent. There's another saying that goes, go hard on your hard days and go easy on your easy days. So this is a day when you're going to go not easy, but easier. Easy would be just strolling along in zone 1. All right, so Good Housekeeping says, cook something new each week. Our list says, try some real food when you're on the bike. So a lot of people, we obviously have convenient foods for activity, like GU, Power Bars, all of those products that are made to help us just carry a convenient thing with us. Well, peanut butter sandwich cut into 4s is just as convenient and can give you just what you need. A little bit of fat, a little bit of protein, a little bit of carbs, a little bit of salt. So try some real food options. My mom always used to say to me, celery with peanut butter on it is the perfect thing. The celery gives you some water. Peanut butter gives you some fat. And getting little carbs out of that too. And depending on what kind of peanut butter you're eating, you're getting some salt. So try some real food. Dates are an awesome option. They have a great glycemic index. They have a perfect package. They're already ready to go. You might want to just pop the pits out of them before you take them with you. But that's also another one to consider. So try some real food in this next year. Coming up on 3 minutes. This one's 4. I see my arms starting to glisten a little. It means I'm sitting in the right zone. Getting some sweat going on. Good for our pores. So number 4 is read more books. And in addition to read more books, use your library. I can remember as a kid going to the library probably once a week. It was always fun to come home with a big stack of books. From our perspective, read some books that have cycling as a center of the book. A couple of ones I found. 3, 2, 30 seconds easy. We're almost to the middle of this ladder. Moving on to 5 minutes. There's a book called The Rider by Tim Kraby. There's a book actually by Nicole Cook, who is a professional female cyclist, called The Breakaway. There's a book by Peter Sagan called My World. Here we go, 5 minutes, longest effort. 3, 2, 1. In terms of gearing, same thing. If you need to go easier, you may. If you feel like you can go harder without going over that threshold, same cadence, 90 to 100, keeping it real here. There's a book called To Hell on a Bike about Paris-Roubaix. And those of you that don't know Paris-Roubaix, it's one of the longest, what they call classic races. And it's dubbed as a road race, but the classics always have cobblestones, gravel sections. It's a little bit more than just a road race. And of course, it's always fun to watch when the conditions are horrific, like when it's raining, fog, all kinds of crazy goes on. And the cool part is, at the end of that race, they finish in a velodrome. They do, I think, a lap and a half or 2 laps. And when you win that particular race, you literally get a cobblestone as your prize. So the coveted cobblestone is always what everybody's looking for on that day. Another book's called Lanterne Rouge. And for some of you that don't know this, in any of the major tours, the Tour de France, the Giro d'Italia, the Vuelta a España, the Lanterne Rouge is after the 3 weeks of racing, the racer who is last in the race. And they actually give that rider a special prize called the Lanterne Rouge. So that book might be interesting. I'm sure it'll talk about all the racers that have gotten that prize over the years. So you're halfway through this 5-minute effort, and then you're going to go down the backside. Hopefully, you're holding where you need to be holding the effort. Take a drink. And if you feel like you're breathing too hard, back it down. If the legs are burning, back it down. If the legs are burning, if you're holding 100 cadence, maybe bring it down to 95. That might be all you need. Just a slight change to make it not so hard. So after you read more books, this is a good one just to keep for your own self. Create a cleaning schedule that you can stick with. That's always a good one. And that applies to your bike too. Create a schedule of when you're going to clean your bike. If you come home from a ride and the bike is bad, and especially at this time of the year, you're going to have salt on the bike. Depending on where you live, it might be really dirty. So make sure that either as soon as you get home or that next day, you're cleaning your bike. And you're also doing your annual maintenance on it. So depending on how many miles you're putting on your bike, you should really take your bike in once a year to maybe have the cables changed, the chain replaced, the bike just clean, the bearings greased. When all that happens and you get the bike back, man, it feels good. 3, 2, 1, 30 seconds easy. Woo, yeah. Coming down the backside. Going back to 4 minutes. Again, if you feel like you need any changes in gearing, make those changes as we move to the next set. This 30 seconds feels like nothing. That's good. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. 4 minutes. Dial it right back in. It's really cool how your body's going to know what you want it to do. And for this, again, stay in your small ring. Give yourself about 3 or 4 gears. So you're around your 21, 19. And just spin at that cadence that you can hold and at the effort level that works for you. All right, this one's going to be hard for some. Drink less alcohol. On the bike side, drink more water on a daily basis. And when you're riding, make sure you're adding some electrolyte mix to your water. Trust me, if you drink adequate water on a daily basis, your body will feel so much better. I had an athlete once who was diagnosed with lupus, and when we started regulating her water, some of her symptoms started to go away. She always felt like her fingers were fat, her body felt bloated. Well, as soon as she started a hydration regimen, some of those symptoms went away. It also helps your organs to work properly and prepares you for your recovery in addition to your workouts. So if you have proper hydration, your body can recover faster. So think about that. And in addition to that, when you are recovering, make sure your recovery source has protein in it. So as I talk about a shake after a workout, and that's after every workout. Don't think just because you did an hour workout, you don't deserve a recovery shake. You do. We're at 4 minutes. We're coming up on 3. Holding it steady. You can see why I picked to talk a lot on this one, because I can. It's a lot easier. So speaking of easier, Good Housekeeping says make dinner easier. So I guess that means don't make it a 4-course meal. What I have to say is make riding easier by lubing your chain on a regular basis. If your chain isn't lubed, it's going to be very grindy. It's going to wear down their cogs, wear down the chain, and everything will be needing to be replaced more frequently. So a nicely lubed chain 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds easy. As Lillian well knows, can make it feel a lot nicer. If you hear your chain squeaking, that means it's time to lube your chain. Take a drink. And it's so cool when you lube a chain and then you ride it and you're like, wow, why didn't I do this before? All right, here we go to 3 minutes. 3, 2, 1. Let's dial it right back in. Same cadence, same effort level. If you want to give yourself a little harder gear, since it's a shorter time frame, but remember, keep it where we want it to be. Don't try to pop out of this. It's nice to be able to work at a level where you don't feel like you're killing yourself. Your legs will feel much better after you're done. So, start meal prepping. My old coach used to do this. He used to literally spend part of his Sunday cooking things that he thought he might want during the week. So he would cook 6 chicken breasts, grill up some vegetables, make some pasta, things that you can just have in the fridge, especially for like a night like tonight, and you can just go grab whatever you need out of the fridge, and you don't have to actually cook it. It's already prepared. You just have to heat it up. So that's always a good one. So in conjunction with that, start making your own bars or foods that you can take while you're riding. There's a book by Dr. Lim called The Feed Zone Portables. It's a great book because he at one point was the team doctor, chef for a number of male professional teams. He would make all kinds of goodies for them. He took all those goodies and put them in a book. And I've made a large percentage of stuff that's in there. And it actually is very portable, very easy to make, very easy to carry, and very easy to digest while you're on the bike. One of the things that he made or makes are rice bars, and that's one of the best recipes ever. Bring it down, 30 seconds easy. That 3 minutes went fast. 3 minutes goes fast when I'm talking. Next is going to be 2. We're coming back down this ladder. We're going to stay in the same, take a drink. Same range. You might want to go into your big ring for this one, but keep it easy on the top end. 3, 2, 1. Settle right back into where you were. That's the beauty of those metrics. Commit to a healthier sleep routine. My suggestion on the bike side is commit to a healthier sleep routine. Sleep is huge. If you find yourself up at 1 o'clock at night You better sleep in till 9. Do your best to try to get at least 7 hours of sleep. Nice to get 8. I think the average adult probably gets between 4 and 6 if they have children or they have stressful jobs. So make that a priority. And it is sometimes a routine. A friend of Randy's said she's doing the 3-2-1, which means she's not eating 3 hours before her bedtime. She's not doing electronics 2 hours before her bedtime. And she's reading 1 hour before her bedtime. That's pretty good. That's a nice routine. If you can get into that routine, you might find that it works for you. I see lots of towels being used. It means you guys are doing this right. 3, 2, 1, bring it down. 30 seconds. Woo! Going through this fast. We're going to come up on 1 minute. The next one on the list is join a club. Well, that applies to us too. Join a bike club. Morris Area Freewheelers, Bicycle Touring Club of North Jersey, or some down south, depending on where you are. Here we go, last minute. Make sure you're in your big ring this time. 1 minute. Stick right to where you want to be. Dial it right back in. Bike clubs are fun because you find people who share a similar passion. That's why going on like a week-long bike tour can also be a great way. We've met some people in the past on bike tours that we've gone on, and we're still friends with them. In fact, 2 of them are coming to Italy with us. So there's a benefit to bike clubs or rides. Like, for example, there's a women's ride that happens out of Summit in the summertime on Thursdays. That's always a fun thing, especially for the women in the group. 3, 2, 1, bringing it down. That was it for that. You're going to get 2 minutes solid just to recover a little bit. And then we're going to finish up with just some fast to keep you honest. While you're just spinning it out, take a drink. So the next thing on the list is upcycle your wardrobe. Give some clothes away. Maybe get some new things. Well, my take on that is check your bike shorts. So the most embarrassing thing ever is when you're riding behind somebody and unfortunately you're staring at their butt crack. So make sure you are checking your bike shorts. If you hold them up like this and you can see through the back of your bike shorts, it's time to get some new ones. So it is always an embarrassing moment when that happens. And if I'm with Randy, I always say to him, you tell him. It's a guy, you tell him. He's like, no, you tell him. So of course, one of us has to tell this person, it's time to retire your shorts. And of course, we don't tell them until the end of the ride because we don't want to completely embarrass them as the ride goes on. So new bike shorts are always fun. Old bike shorts, not so much. So do your job and get yourself a couple of new pairs of shorts this year and throw away, or as we do in our house, we write big black letters on the chamois itself, trainer session bikes, bike shorts only, never to be worn outside. All right, let's get in our last effort. And I'll bring out a couple of the last ones that I have on my list. We're going to do this last effort just like the first one. You're going to be in your small ring, your 19. You're going to go a little harder here. 50 seconds on, 10 seconds off. We're going to do 5 of them. So find that gear. Give it a little bit more effort here. 3, 2, 1. Push the effort. Get yourself to feel a little bit of burn now. Even sitting back, recovering, getting into the zone 2, 3. Push this a little here now at the end. So the next one is wear workout clothes that feel good. Well, along the same lines, buy yourself a new kit or a new jersey or a new jacket, some arm warmers, a vest, something that's gonna make you feel good for the new season. 3, 2, bring down your effort. 10 seconds. And you're gonna go right back into it. 3, 2, let's go. It's always nice to crack open that bag of a new jersey. And jerseys do last a long time if you care for them properly. You should be washing them in cold water and hanging them to dry. Do not put them in the dryer. The fabric has properties to it that can get destroyed in the dryer. Same with your shorts. Hang them dry. 3, 2. Nice and easy. This one is one I think everybody should do. 3, 2, let's go. Into the 3rd minute. Make your bed every morning, Bob DeMare. It just makes it feel good. He's like, no making your bed. Make your bed. Start your day off right. When it comes to cycling, make sure that your tires are in good condition. You don't want to go out there with balding tires and get a flat. Nice and easy. 10 seconds. Depending on how many miles you're doing in a season, you might need to change your tires. 3, 2, number 4. Ooh, that one felt short. Now the heart rate is starting to come up. If you're doing this right, effort in zone 4. And depending on what kind of tires you're using, some are going to wear better than others. So start to notice that. And tire widths are changing. I used to ride with 21 width. It's amazing to think that. Nice and easy. Was so skinny. Now most people are riding 28s. 3, 2, last 50 seconds. So previously, 20 years ago, the adage was skinnier the tire, the faster you rolled. Well, now, with newfound studies, the more tire surface on the road, the better it rolls. But here's the other thing. You don't have to put your tire pressure to 120. I have tubes. I do 80 in the front, 85 in the back, 3. 2 nice and easy. And man, when you do a little less pressure, 3, 2, nice easy gear. Finish up your water bottle. We're going to now cool it down. When you lower that tire pressure, now of course, some people will say, yeah, but you only weigh 110 pounds. Okay, so even if you weighed 190 pounds, you could still get away with 90 in the front and 95 to 100 in the back. It just makes your ride so much smoother, and you don't really need that higher tire pressure. But if you're going tubeless, if anybody's gone tubeless, you can go really low. Randy rides tubeless on his road bike, and I believe he puts 50 pounds, 50 PSI on the road. On my gravel bike, I am putting 21 in the front, 23 in the back, but they're tubeless, and my road bikes, they're 40 millimeters. So experiment with it. Don't be afraid to go a little bit lower on your tire pressure, get a much smoother ride. Just don't go way down to like 60 if you're not tubeless. 80 is probably your limit. 100 should be your ceiling. Nobody needs to go to 120 any longer. So the last one that I had on my list was enjoy every ride. Even the ones that you do on the trainer. So find a way to find something good about every single ride we do, including these ones where we're inside. Because you guys that are here, you're going to come out in the spring and be strong. Those people that have been sitting around eating bonbons all winter long, they're going to be struggling off the back, chasing you down and going, wow, man, Kim, you're so strong this year. So keep that in mind, that even though these hurt, sometimes you don't feel like doing them. It's completely worth it in the long run. So finish up your water bottle. We have, I think, what did I count today? I think there's like 10 or 12, maybe 13 more sessions left in the calendar that I put together. So we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of improvements to make. And anytime you can sneak outside and get any outside miles in, the temperatures allow, I would try to do that if I were you. It's nice to have a mixture of on the trainer and outside if you can make it happen. Some people have a limit of how much they can manage in terms of the cold. Feet and hands seem to be the coldest one. Here's a hand suggestion. Another one that we can put on the list is replace your bar tape on your bike. Putting our hands on here, especially if you don't wear gloves or while we're on the trainer, your hands are pretty sweaty. It's nice to have some new bar tape. So add that to the list. And then if you're riding outside, someone told me this trick, I haven't tried it yet, is to put like a latex glove on first and then your glove, and that your hands actually stay much warmer with that latex glove on there. So try that, I don't know. Or you can do the old trick like we used to do when we were kids. Put the Wonder Bread wrapper in your shoes when you'd go out sled riding. And that would definitely keep your feet warm. At least your mom thought that that was what was happening. All right, we're going to keep cooling down. Again, finish up what's in your bottle. We just got about 30 more seconds to go, and then we will call it a night. This was good. I like this workout. Hopefully you'll take some of those bike resolutions into play for the upcoming year. Make 2023 an exciting year. All right. Good workout, everybody. Woo-wee.